Hi YouTube family and welcome into today's video. I am going to be doing this eye with my concealers. As you can see, I already have this one done and I had promised everyone a dedicated video for this, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe before you go so that you can be notified of any videos that I have. Don't forget to ring the bell. So many people are telling me that they've either gotten unsubscribed or I'm not showing up in their feed at all, and that's one way to be able to have me in your feed. So just wanted to throw that out there. Please give this video a thumbs up as well. I'm going to really zoom you in quite a bit because I want you to be able to see what's going on. Okay, so this eye right here has already had concealer on it, and as you can tell probably, it really looks just finished. This eye right here looks like I almost have a black eye. Okay, and so what I want to tell you as a first step, I use this e.l.f. Prep and Hydrate Balm. I go right underneath my eyes with this before I start any sort of priming, and I really do a lot of priming, so I let this sit as long as possible. If I have puffy eyes, I actually will work that in, and it kind of helps, you know, drain those a little bit. And you guys, if you hear a fan, it is hotter than blue blazes in here right now, and with all these lights on me, it's even hotter. So I'm trying really hard to make sure that you guys get a good sound, but at the same time that I don't melt away. First thing that I do right after all of that dries down and I'm having, you know, I can feel it's really still a little bit tacky there, I'm gonna take my Maybelline Master Camo and Apricot. And you guys have seen this on other tutorials before, and I just click it once. It's on a click system here at the bottom, and then the delivery system is like a pad right there, almost like a doe foot but attached to the pin. And I do kind of have to look right here because this is where my mirror is. So I'm gonna just go all over, and I take it clear out here to the edge because I have a lot of darkness out there at the corner of my eye. And I just go ahead and I put it all over, and I really pat this on. And basically, more than anything, that is because I know that I want it to dry down before I go in with any of my concealers. And so that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to let that dry down and have a few minutes just to sit on there, and I'll be right back. One thing that I didn't tell you that I want to make sure that I do about this color corrector is that it is a little bit more of a drying product. So when you put it on, you're going to feel like it's going into your fine lines, your wrinkles. You're going to feel like it's really drying you out. But that's a good thing because you don't want it to mix with your concealer. And your concealer, in order for it to not look dry on your under eye, needs to be a little bit, just a tiny bit more on the emollient side. That's why people have so much problem with Shape Tape. And that segues into what we're talking about with our two concealers. This is the new repackaged, not new product, but it's repackaged Tarte Creaseless concealer. It used to come in the tube and it was called the Maracuja concealer. And then this one is the Tarte Shape Tape. And I find that the two of these together, and I said this in my monthly favorites, the two of these together form a perfect pairing for me for coverage, for emollients, but being dried out enough that it doesn't settle into those fine lines and wrinkles. So neither of these you need a whole lot to do this. You make sure that original color corrector is dried down so that when you pat across like this, you can look on your finger and there's none coming off there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Creaseless concealer first from Tarte, and I'm going to go very into the corner, and I'm going to just tap little tiny dots. Can you see how tiny those dots are? And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go one on the outside right here where I have so much, right there. And then I'm going to take the Tarte Creaseless. By the way, this is the light medium sand, and then this one is in just medium on the Tarte Shape Tape. And I'm going to just go ahead and just one right here in the middle of my eye, kind of on top of that last one. So just one tap on there. And so I feel like at that point I have enough product on there, and it sure doesn't seem like very much, but it will work out really good. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to go across, and I'm going to take a few minutes and work this into my under eyes. kind of a learning curve for me on trying to figure out what was too much, what was not enough. And so I encourage you to do the same thing, but start out with less is more thinking on it, and you'll be a lot happier with it. Because when I first started, I was putting on a lot because I always think I have to cover over so much that I need to put a lot on. But when you're doing these extra steps with the color corrector and then you're using others, it's good that you don't have to necessarily do that. Now, you can, if you get too much on at this point, you can go back in with a beauty blender, take a little bit off, or you can go back in with a clean finger and take a little bit off with your finger. I like using my fingers because I feel like my finger warms the product up. Lots of people like using a brush because they feel like that's a little more flawless, and lots of people like using a beauty sponge because they feel like it distributes evenly, and the other thing is it will pick up the excess product. For me, it's the fingers. It's just easier. So I'm going to go across one more time since I have been talking and expressing my face a little bit. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this Ofra banana powder, and this has been for me a lifesaver. I'm still looking for a dupe from the drugstore, but this isn't that expensive. I think it was like $12, I want to say. It really was not that expensive. If it was more than that, I'll throw it up on the screen and I'll correct myself, as I always do. And so I get that brush. This is my Wet n Wild little fluffy brush. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I get that brush and I kind of load it up, and then I'm just going to go across here and I'm going to dab that across there. Why I love this Ofra banana powder is it is so hydrating. It is, I feel the creaminess of it. So when I go across there, I don't feel like I'm going across and I'm actually getting, you know, drying out my under eyes. I feel like it sets it just perfectly and it doesn't create more dryness. Now I'm going to get really, really close. So hopefully you guys can see, my viewfinder's right here, I apologize. But hopefully you guys can see how good that does for a concealer. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my blush, my highlighter, and my little bit of eye makeup on, and then I'll be right back to talk to you. I do want to just get kind of real with you here for just a second. One thing I want to talk about is that, you know, throughout the day, if you're an aging woman and you have fine lines or you have wrinkles under there, and I have some pretty good wrinkles under there, I have really deep laugh lines, that kind of thing. Throughout the day, if you find that that's happening to you, you can refresh your makeup. Here's my suggestion to you. I use Hard Candy, the Hydrating Primer Mist. It's good. You can use MAC Fix Plus. I also have Flower Beauty. This is a hydrating setting spray. Anything like that. I keep one of these little Real Techniques sponges, the little ones, in my purse with something like this, and I spray the end of it, and I will go across ever so lightly to reinvigorate my makeup and to, you know, take care of any lines that happen. The thing that I want to say to you is that as an aging woman, as a mature woman, we're going to have little extra things that a younger gal might not have. I know that I will probably have settling there throughout the day because I have a lot of expression in my face. I do a lot of eyebrow expressions. I do a lot of smiling, all that kind of stuff. And that contributes to how your makeup moves across your face. And there is no makeup in the world that's not going to move out in across there and do a little bit of creasing. This is how I suggest that there is no unnecessary creasing. And that's why I say that in my video. If I were to say no creasing at all, that would be just silly for me to say that. That would be like false advertising, and I think that's ridiculous. So I just want to say that to you is no unnecessary creasing. We are aging, but we are mighty and we are beautiful, and we don't need to worry about all that. You know, look at your makeup a couple times in the mirror during the day and, oh yeah, I got a little bit going on. So I, you know, travel my finger across there a little bit. It's okay. It is what it is. We need to wear our wrinkles and those things as a badge of pride, not as something to be hidden that we're getting older, because we've paid our dues and we've done our duty, and we are so mature and lovely because of that, and I want to just express that to you. So that's everything for today's video and my little soapbox rant as usual, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. You guys are always the best part of my channel and what I love about doing YouTube. So thank you very much. I love you all so very much. You all take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in my very next video. Bye guys.